Hmm. Hey, Demetrius, you made 1K. Nice, bro. Good Angel. Johan, what's up, brother? Daniel, what's up, brother? Roger. Danny. Let me turn my light on. Sec. The lighting was off. Full port CPI this morning. You know what? I don't have to talk about CPI. You know, doesn't have to be a subject of conversation. Um, let's just say that I'm not down on my accounts. Uh, that's what matters. No, on a real note, like I did try the CPI. I have seen the ICT streams, yes. Um, I did try CPI. I ended up going break even. It started to slow down, and I was like, I don't know. I was a rookie. I didn't realize that. No, I didn't lose. I didn't lose. I ended up going break even. Even though it was like pretty free, but that was my first ever CPI. I guess second ever CPI. Full board two. We did 3 micros. Made 3K on my life. Nice, bro. It's great. Anyways, that's behind us. Morning chance was good, Sam. I woke up 4 minutes before. Damn, bro. Yo, Gaddy. Good morning. Good luck today, everyone. Yep. Yeah. I won't complain. I won't complain. I mean, I'm not gonna complain. I went 2 years without even trying it, so like, it's not a big deal. On some funded you can, but mostly no. You up? Anyone who didn't sign up for boot camp, y'all missing? What's good, Jafar? Appreciate you, brother. Now it's time to go on profit regular. Yeah, we just focus on the regular trading. I use Tradeovate. Trying to set up later in the day yesterday. No, I wasn't on the charts. It was so clean though. That setup in PM session, 150 macro, 2 p.m. open, was so good. That was like the freest 3-4 hour setup I've ever seen. I just wasn't on the charts. Yeah. A good study. How you doing today? I'm great, man. First day unfunded with TBT. Nice, bro. Nice. Did you see the response from Lucid support? I haven't looked. I don't look at really Lucid. Uh, or I don't know what you mean. Bro, guys, Bears. No, I'm gonna be bullish today. I'll most likely only be looking for longs. Price could definitely come and sweep all this out. I would just look for a long from there then. So that's for me today. Yeah, CPI dropped like around 45 minutes ago. 48 to be exact. Um, yeah, I mean all-time highs is there. Right, I don't want to fade that on ES. So we're bullish, all-time highs in the scopes. We shoot for all-time highs. We have sell side here on dollar index. Um, get this high here and that high there. We could definitely, soup this, maybe like do something like that. That's possible. I wouldn't be surprised. But the game plan is simply look for high probability longs. That's it. We're gonna sit. I'm not gonna be taking any shorts today. Very unlikely. Maybe, but it has to be a very strong narrative in play. On a side note, actually, we'll wait a bit before we do like a proper breakdown. Sign into my accounts. Classic model short, maybe. You could classic model short today if there's accumulation pre-market. Somehow you lost 100 on CPI. Yeah, I don't know how that happened, bro. I'm gonna be honest. I saw a couple people they lost on CPI. I don't even know what to tell you, man. Just a part of the game, I guess. Some randomness involved in there, I guess. It's definitely frustrating because you probably saw everyone else win, but it happens because there was a first candle that pulled back a lot. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right. There was a big pullback at one point. It's a pullback. That definitely could have been it. Um, so I made 9,000 on CPI, 2,700 on another, and 2,200, and they're all blown. I understand. Can I full pour PPI? You can. It's not. It may not be like PPI is not always a nice candle, but you can on eval. It's allowed. Hey, bro, how did that model look like when midnight open happens and London sweeps first place? Good question, Jafar. You're talking about today. So today, there technically was a sweep in London. Um, a little bit later than London, but on a day like this, now obviously it's still there, right? We have the breaker. This is your CISD. We got it above it, so you technically going into the day would not expect this to get taken. I wouldn't even expect this to get taken personally. But CPI, FOMC, NFP, PPI, any major redful, any like major news brings in a lot of volatility. So I wouldn't be surprised. I'm just saying a hypothetical scenario. Let's say we're bullish, and the market spends 15 minutes going down or 30 minutes going down, and then and then that's the sweep below midnight, and then 15 minutes CISD. You get what I'm saying? So that happened like a couple days ago, like here for example, right? There was a sweep in London, and we got the CISD went up, but then New York came back down, swept the lows again, got another 15-minute CISD, and that one delivered higher for the rest of the day. So it's possible to happen. It's you know. Does that answer your question? You should be allowed to trade news on eval. I don't think that's true. If you ask them, they'll say it's fine. I full board CPI on 3 accounts, and they all blew well over profit 9K. What do you mean they all blew well over profit? What does that mean? I full board CPI on the wrong account with Apex. Do I have to keep trading because of 30% consistency? Yeah, you're gonna have to make a lot of money. I ain't gonna lie to you. But it's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, free money, kind of. It's good TB5. I bought a fresh alpha account for it too. I mean, you're only down 100 at least, right? You can still work on that. It's not over. The accounts are blown, but in so much profit. What? What accounts are they? The longs plus 2K USC, then you lost it? Listen, I think we can all agree on one thing. CPI is an emotional roller coaster, you know? Even if you win, it's still an emotional roller coaster. It's just at the top. Were they Apex evals? You know what it was, bro? You probably just got a really good entry. No, but you're in profit. I don't know what to tell you, bro. I don't know. I mean, you ended in green. It's probably the trailing drawdown, but he's ending in 9K profit, so how? Yeah, I mean, I'll be trading today. Can you explain TBT rules? Okay, I'm assuming you know the eval rules. I'll just go over it. So, if you guys want to trade with Take Profit Trader, 5 trading days on the evals, 50% consistency. So, hypothetically speaking, you make 1,500, 1,500, and then just flip a micro for three more days. Eval passed. The funded account, no consistency rule. You can get payouts every single day, but you do need to get a buffer first. And you can only request above the buffer. There's no news trading on the funded. And the last thing is it's live trailing drawdown. So basically, it's not the easiest process until you get buffer on funded. But once you get buffer on funded, that's why I'm working on Take Profit Trader. And my goal is to go live with them, to be honest. I did in life where there's no such thing as consistency rules. Bro, trust me. Trust me. most traders need a consistency rule, bro. Otherwise, they'll go mayhem and they'll just try to make it all like 40% consistency sounds bad. It's really not that bad, like at all. Like if you're gonna make $2,000, it doesn't really make sense that your biggest day is not like you have to be consistent anyways, you know? For alpha then to get past the buffer on advanced qualify. You don't need a buffer technically, but you do need to request minimum. Like I think you need to make at least like it's weird. Like the rule isn't buffer, but they get you on the I think minimum payout's 1,000, and you can only request 50% of what you make. There's no consistency rule, and then your max payout's 15K. So technically no, but yeah, you do. On advanced, what are your top two prop firms? Alpha Futures for sure. He's talking about advanced. I'd rather no consistency unfunded. TBH more freedom. I get you. I totally get you. But let me ask, what time is it? Nice. Okay. For those of you who hate the consistency rule, I get you. You want freedom. You want to just let your trade run. How often do you really be honest with yourself? How often do you really take a trade and you're like, yeah, you know, like for those 1 or 2 days where you want to hold the trade and make a lot of money in one day, that shit rarely happens, bro. That rarely happens. You're closing most of your trades relatively consistently, unless you have a specific model that really you're holding the trade. You're like, yeah, this trade I'm gonna make fucking 4 figures, 5 figures on this trade. Yeah, let's be honest. That really never happens. Like you're mostly closing the trade between 1 and 5 R, and that's totally fine for consistency rule. You know, like you guys know when the consistency rule first came out, that shit was like 10%. Like that shit was literally consistency. Like for real, like 10%. Okay, if it's 10%, I get you. That's like very strict trading. You know, that's when consistency rule first came out. Now that shit's 40%. You should be 40% anyways. You know, like unless you really are like just going for crazy trades every now and then. If you're risking the same amount every trade, it's gonna be 40%. You know, I do get you though, because it sucks. Sometimes you want to pyramid. You know, eventually you get to a point where like, yeah, maybe there's a trade or two, but the thing is, the firms with consistency rule usually means easier payout. Now, some firms they have both. Like Top Step, no consistency rule, sure, but you have to build a buffer. You know, and that's a dangerous road to go down because you're going to be chasing a buffer. I did that. Um, if you look at like what other firm has consistent, like for example, Apex is a tough one, but if you go Take Profit Trader, they have no consistency rule, but again, you need to build a buffer. That is true though. When you're in drawdown, consistency sucks. But you know what? The only reason it sucks is because you can't rush to get out of drawdown, and that's realistic too. You know, like you're not supposed to be able to over leverage yourself to get out of a drawdown. That doesn't make sense. So you are right in that sense that I do know what you mean. That is frustrating, but it should be consistent anyways. Like if you want good trading consistently, well then you need to be consistent. You need to consistently lose around a similar amount, and you know make you have a 40% wiggle room for how much you can. Anyways, my funny futures rapid is yeah. I don't think that was bad. It's basically Take Profit Trader, except their live account's not that good. So I personally prefer Take Profit Trader, but that's just me. Anyways, let's lock in here, boys. I don't even sign into my account. Let me quickly sign into my account. So the accounts that I'll be having open today. For those of you who don't know, I'm eligible for my first Alpha Futures payout. It only took a couple of wins. Um, you guys been watching me trade. I didn't take any trades off stream for this payout. Um, we didn't have to do much. I mean, we took a couple small wins here and there, and now we're eligible for a payout across 3 accounts. So it really is a lot easier to get a payout with Alpha Futures. I posted a video about it. So anyways, those accounts are not going to be traded today. They're not going to be traded until Monday. So we're going to work on Top Step and Take Profit Trader. I also have my live account open, but again, don't necessarily assume that every trade I'm taking will also be taken on my live. Um, that's for me. Anyways, we have the 15-minute gap in here. I'm not gonna annotate it. We'll just see what price does here at 9:30. What I will annotate is opening range gap. It's a small opening range gap. This could be a lame CPI, but we'll see. Um, Huge imbalance in here. We just took out sell side. Honestly, the market was to immediately expand and give an inversion, I may take that right away. 930 classic long. Stop is 48. First TP 66. Break even go to 150 maybe. The SMT there as well. I'd rather not though. I'd rather not. Cautious of the candle sizes today. For example, this one green candle is 47 points, so a little bit larger risk than normal. You may have to lower your contract sizing today. So we trade down. Looks like ES may want to take out those lows as well. So again, anything lower is fair game in my opinion. Like we could come down all the way here if we wanted to, and I wouldn't be surprised. I would still be bullish. Let's go to Atlanta. We did what Paris is micro Nasdaq. I'm in drawdown on my funded since September. Well, congratulations for holding on to that. Yeah, you're gonna have to streak. How many winning days versus losing days on Alpha? I can check. I don't know if I had any losing days. Yeah, we didn't have any losing days, but we did have a break even day. I just had 3 winning days, like 3 days where I made 1R, 1R, and 0.5R, and that was enough for a payout. That literally was it. So, I mean, it's not the biggest payout, but it's gonna pay the bills, and I gotta get something into my bank account for January. So now we can just focus on Top Step, Take Profit Trader, get the ball rolling. Yeah, I had 4 trading days total. Top Step's down? I don't think so. Mine's working, I think. Which prop firm will allow you to withdraw money the fastest and most easily? I would say Alpha Futures. Um, Easiest to get eligible for a payout. If I make 500 on a fresh Alpha 50K and take it all, do I still have 500 behind? Yes. That would be Alpha Standard if you want that. If it's Alpha Zero, then you have to make 1,000. You request 500, and then still you have 1,500 left. So it works on both. But did I leave funded next? Um, I'm currently talking to them. Like I did leave. If you guys want the full story, not because their rules are not good. Like they have a really good firm. I left because their like affiliate program. I don't know. I really, it was just kind of a waste of my time. Like they were asking for a lot, and I wasn't getting much in return. I didn't even get commissions on the code. Not that many people were using that code, anyways. Nobody really uses my other code. It's mainly just Alpha Futures. Um, like no one really uses my Lucid or Apex or Take Profit Trader, but so same with Fund and Next. But it wasn't even just that. Like they were asking me for so much, and I wasn't really getting anything worth my time in return. So I told them I was like, "Yo, this shit's wasting my time, straight up. I might as well just." But then they came back to me and they were like, "We can see if we can make it worth your time. Do you mind asking how much capital you have funding overall?" I currently have 950Ks. Why sometimes you can have 300 on standard? Well, why sometimes you say you can have 3 days on standard and it counts as 5 minutes? You only need like the 3 is the minimum you can get a payout in. I'm not sure what your question is, but I passed 3 100K zero alpha. How much should I risk for a trade? I would say like 250 if you want to be safe, get an easy payout. I think 250 solid. Most people would say risk more. I wouldn't go more than 400. That's like the max I'd say. On standard, you can do it in 3. Yeah, I only have 3. I wouldn't take this. Too sloppy. Got the YM. Yeah, too sloppy. I don't like how much time it's spent down here. You could take this. It may run the high here. I don't like it. It's too sloppy. No fair value gaps formed. Not a clean setup. There is SMT, so I am definitely bullish going into the day. I don't want to take any shorts today. This could deliver higher, but like I said, it's a little bit too sloppy for my liking. Um, the YM is going lower, and Nasdaq here just a little bit too long to get that inversion. 1, 2, 3, 4 minutes. I don't like the wick. I don't like the fact we had a failure swing. So we'll just watch it deliver. This is your first target, obviously. And if we're going above this level, which is pre-market highs, you have the December high, so previous month highs over there. Potential target for the day. Yeah, I mean, there's not, even if we inverse the second and we got a little bit more of a confirmation, still wouldn't be the best trade. So looking at this 3-minute inversion, it's just not clean enough. Pretty good reaction there, but I think this is just something we have to watch. I mean, we haven't even put in one fair value gap yet, so we'll just watch. I mean, it's no big deal if we miss it. Maybe we can get a protraction somewhere here. Target. I mean, this high is the first target, 26,046. My target for the day, best case scenario, would be 26,123. If we get 26,123 at that point in time, or sorry, 26,142. Just a smaller level. I'll mark it out with a small blue line. That would be like if we hit that, that's like my day's done. We hit the objectives. This is so free if this inverses your target previous day's high. No, that's already taken. I'm looking for the previous month high. I think that's possible today. What I'd want to see here is S&P 500 come and soup out this low, and then a reversal in the macro. That would be probably A plus for me. Would you care about data lows? No. I mean, it can go there. It's fine. December high. I don't have it there, but I'm on the micro 26124. It could be a little bit different on the mini. It could be the relatively like the same distance. So, if you were to explain SMT in the easiest way, how would you explain it? Okay, I'm gonna draw. You can see my screen, so it's gonna be pretty easy for you. This chart right here, this is the Nasdaq, and this chart right here is S&P 500. Okay, they are meant to make the same highs and same lows. But if you notice at this point in time, look at the crosshair, that the dotted line down the middle. Look at on this chart. This low is lower than this one. So this one, Nasdaq made a lower low. Lower low indicates weakness, right? But on the S&P 500 chart, look at the crosshair. Look at the same dotted vertical line. That same low that was put in at 930 did not take out this low on S&P 500. It failed. It made a higher low. Higher low indicates strength. So in the right context, when the correlated asset makes a lower low and the other correlated asset makes a higher low, remember, they're supposed to do the same thing. So if one is sweeping and the other one is saying, no, I'm not going to sweep, that's a signal for strength. Now, this has to be in the right context. You can't see me through the trees. I'm talking to YouTube chat. That could have been a good protraction, but it's not valid. You could take it as a deferred. I think it's just a tape read for me. Like, I wouldn't take this, but I'm happy to tape read. Just see if it delivers. This is where I would take. If I didn't trust the first one, I'd take this one. Stop loss here. So we'll study it. I'd probably have to either, yeah, like you'd have to break even here. Like move the stop here. To be honest, you can already move the stop here. So I would trail. Because a fair value gap should form there. If it doesn't, red flag. So already you can trail the stop loss on this trade. So that's a trail stop loss. It's I want to see the protraction form from a fair value gap or a sweep. This one just went down, then up. So if I go to the 15-second chart, you'll see it a little bit cleaner. We came down, came up. So it's technically valid on the 15-second, but I prefer cleaner structure. I'm not in a trade. This is a tape read. I'd move the stop loss here. Already halfly reduced. Actually, a little bit less. Yeah, ES not moving. And if you look at YM, it's going lower. So this would be a rule break for me, fully, if I took this trade. I'd be happy to miss this trade. You use trade copy? Yeah, I do. Um, I mean, that's my go-to. I'm not currently using it, but usually that's what I would do, yeah. That in December high. On the MNQ H2026, it is December high. This is a monthly chart. This is December. That's the high. Oh, we all looking. Are you guys looking at the mini or something? How are we all? How are we all? On the mini, December high is 26,119. On the micro, December high is 26,133. Or sorry, it's yeah, 11113. If you look at the micro H contract, it's 123, so 10 points higher on the H contract. It's pretty much the same as the mini. I don't know what you guys. I don't know what you guys are looking at, but bang. What bang? This is a tape read. Yeah, I think chat's tripping. Okay, we can maybe get a protraction from here. I would like that. I wouldn't take this one. I would need a little bit lower. You know, actually, we could just buy this fair value gap. No, I wouldn't. 3.4 R? Dollar index pivot higher? Yes. No, I don't think I can. It's a rule break. Because the intermarket analysis is not supporting. There isn't a single mark. Oh, thank God we didn't take that. Intermarket analysis is not supporting this trade at all. Okay, there's the sweep on ES that I wanted to see originally. Okay. If we were to get an inversion now, that would be better. Because now ES swept. So now ES may want to switch higher. Currently, dollar is moving higher. YM is moving lower. Yo, why is the video not going up? Like, everything is so green. AMD, Google, they massive deal, bro. They gotta do something. They gotta pump out some chips or something, bro. I think they're working on a big deal. So, there's a really good chance that this delivers lower. But I'm not gonna take it. It does look really good just looking at it. Just looking at the setup, the way that formed with speed. But again, I don't want to take any shorts today. I have the SMT here. I want to see if I want to see ES give me a setup. I would probably take this 30-second inversion. That's your first presentation fair value gap right there. On the 30-second chart, I'm looking at this fair value gap right here. And include the volume imbalance. Don't see that speed that I'm looking for. This would be a really nice protraction short on the 30-second. I don't think I would take it, but I would tape read just to see my model if it plays out on the short side. Those equal lows, 2-day open, 30-second protraction. Anyways, I'm just throwing out ideas. It's not something I'd want to take. I don't want to take any shorts today. That's not going to change. Saving my capital for the longs that form and align, if they form in the line. So we didn't see that we didn't see that protraction in long form. So it's heavy, could continue lower. Looks like YM is leading shorts, and YM is really going. Swept the all-time high, put a new all-time high in pre-market. YM is looking really bearish. I probably would want to see a break here for YM. If we get that breaker, we swept sell side, then break back above. Make that line, but that's your sell side level. So if we can break back above, YM is just tanking. Nothing interesting, nothing too interesting on the Nasdaq so far. Definitely range bound, kind of sloppy in delivery. So we'll just watch it deliver from this gap, see what happens. And take TP. Yeah, I mean it happens. Oddly busy going to 10 a.m. Can you trade through 10 a.m. today alpha funded? Good question. Let me check. I'm not trading alpha today, but yeah, there's no 10 a.m. news today. You're good. The new home sales. That's if you ever go to off of Discord and you go to notice board, which I can't seem to find. Oh, here, notice board. It'll tell you which news. So it's just the 8:31 today. Again, there's nothing interesting in here for me. It's quite sloppy. Just gonna wait. Also have to keep in mind I could be wrong about the bias. It could just deliver lower. So if we're gonna take something, but we better be really sure that it looks good, aligns with everything. Macro is about to start. I don't even know what I'd want to see at this point. I mean, it's really that sloppy. Like technically, I would not want to see this low get taken, but this is so sloppy that I wouldn't trust any of it. So maybe we do have to sweep out this low, maybe even lower. We get a late reversal, maybe. Why did we edge that high? I think the better question is, were we ever really bullish? And the answer is no. ES was never bullish. YM was very bearish. Dollar index was expanding higher. So why did we get so close? Just to engineer liquidity. Right? It was never really running. It was just engineering highs. Potentially for later. I mean, at some point, obviously, right? Yeah, the video's not moving all, but it's okay. Real friendly reminder: avoid being scared. Thank you, I guess, if that was out of pure kindness. Yeah, being scared is not a good thing. I entered at 9:34. My partial was the pre-market buy side. It edged my head as on break even. Any tips or what to do to happen next time? Nothing. You did nothing wrong, brother. It didn't hit TP. It came all the way back down. You did the right thing. Next time, do the exact same thing. Yo, should I be done with the day? I make $741 on the long. It depends on your rules. And are you on an eval, profit target? No, this isn't Jackson Hole. I do remember the iron stock. I do remember that stock. Lost 300 already. Bad day. Is that more than you like to lose per day? It's an eval. I mean, I wouldn't mind risking some of the profits I made. Wouldn't trust this. I wouldn't trust him. I mean, ES, CISD, maybe from 2-day open. If this candle really accelerates through above this high, stay here. Already not accelerating by the time I made that comment. I would need to see some real acceleration after sweeping out that short-term low. Above this high. Be a short-term breaker, a reinversion of first presentation, and then ESCISD from 2-day open and the SMT. But we didn't get that. So never mind. I'd want to see this low taken now. It is 950 macro. I think we are more leaning towards a sweeper. We'll just see how low this goes. The open is midnight opening price. I get a CPO midnight in Asia. Yeah, it's possible. Email CPI today. Are we lucky? I'm passing the current emails. I'm probably done for the day. Yep, I think that's a good idea, brother. Journal it. Journal your emotions if you have any. Yeah, protraction shorts playing. If I was in this short, what I would do is put my stop here. And I would see if ES takes out this low. It looks like it probably will. Also, you also want to see if ES find support at 50%. This is a good. This is a good area to go long. Still inside that gap. Maybe we can fully close it in. You know, it's gonna look something like this. That area that has not been repriced to. Not that it's gonna be balanced. We'd have to lay over a body and then leave. But London, not Asia. 50K instant account. I don't know what that means. What's the first? Where's first presented? 939 fair value gap. Pretty clear, obvious that that's the one. There's really nothing else to. I mean, there's not really a debate today. Pretty clear that it's that one. And on top, immediate speed. Is that NWAC over there? I don't think that's NWAC. Because it is NWAC. That's not a good sign, I think. That's a pretty good sign that we can be choppy. We have small org and NWAG. Be surprised we just take the body low and just yeah, like that's all we get. I mean, it's possible. ES took out body low. It's just way too sloppy in here for me to take a trade. So oil longs are playing. Yeah, we talked about that on the daily chart, right? Oh, that's nice. That has potential, huh? I think Trump got gifted like a bunch of barrels of oil. What's gold looking like? Definitely bullish, but not really. I mean, my model forms on gold, but it's not really the best. Maybe a protraction long on gold. Not that I would take that. A lot of people have been trading silver lately. I don't want to trade silver. I can look at it. I mean, all-time highs. Yeah, pretty similar to gold. It's back to the Nasdaq. I want to see a clean sweep, ideally. Again, we're just looking for a clean. I didn't hit CPI, no. Were you an SEC stream today? No. I watched the streams after. Try to just focus on my trading and then go from there. How can I do separate layouts on TradingView that have my weekly analysis? I'm actually not good with the layout stuff, but it's in the top right corner. You can create new layouts and set them for how you, I guess, how you want it to be. I'm only going to be looking for longs today, and obviously I could be wrong, but I simply do not want to risk any dollars going short. Um, so yeah, the game plan is to look for longs. Just have to wait for a clear, obvious setup that meets my checklist. Not that you guys can't short. If you're bearish, there's no problem in shorting. 9 handles org, wait for 10. Yeah, the org is tough. The org is tough. Price entering liquidity, both sell side and buy side. Yeah, it looks like we're setting an initial range. We've seen this before. I think it was I don't know. We did a bootcamp study. For those of you in bootcamp, you know what I'm talking about. Remember, we had the original consolidation the first 30 minutes of market open. We set the original high and we set the original low, and then we see the sell side sweep into the reversal later. I'm not saying that's going to happen today, but we've done this study before. You know. Good Phil. Shorts for ES, am I cooked? I mean, I think it's a little bit 50-50, but it could be not bad. For study's sake. Show you guys what I'm talking about. Okay, it's right here. See? So on this day, this is like a couple days ago, we had the consolidation first 30 minutes. We set a high, we set a low, market goes sideways, we sweep the low, we're bullish, then we expand to the high, continuation 1050 macro. So this was Friday, January 9th. So only the early bootcamp students probably saw this, but right? So that's what we're looking at right now. We're bullish, personally. The high is set, the low is set. I'm bullish, so obviously I want to see the low swept and then expand. Friday, fair? Yeah, exactly. Does it look like a seek and destroy day? No, I wouldn't say seek and destroy. It could be range bound and choppy, but seek and destroy is more like just running out both sides constantly. This just looks like it's either waiting for maybe 10 a.m. to move. Okay, should I journal when I don't even take a trade that day? Yeah, you should. I personally have a trading journal, and then I have a daily journal. They're separate. So I want to journal all the trades I take. That's for sure. All my executions, I need a journal that. That's important to me. Um, you also want to journal the charts. You know, your model, your study. It helps build improvement. You know, just because you're not playing that day on the basketball team does that mean you're not going to show up to practice? No, man, you show up to practice. Even if you didn't play that game, you show up every day. 600, I'm not proud of it. What you do next will be very defining, brother. Daddy, for your project X, you have your P&L as ticks or points. What is best to avoid getting emotional? Um, when I'm in the trade, it does say P&L. But my overall account balance is blurred. So I normally don't know I'm eligible for a payout until it's time, you know, or like I know go on a win streak and I come back. I'm like, am I eligible? So I never really look at how much money I need, like you know, because then I know myself. I know my old self. I don't know if I'm probably fine now, but I just built the habit of not checking. But I know my old self. If I'm like 1 or 2 days from a payout, I will I will just naturally start looking for trades to try to make that amount of money. You know, I just turn the balance off. Now I just trade. If I ever go on a couple of win streaks or a couple trade wins, then I check, see if I'm eligible, how close I am. Usually I just am, you know. How do I blur it? You just go to settings and then you go to privacy and you can blur. Okay, there's 10 a.m. What I'd really want to see is a high, a sweep, a break, and then we get an A plus 950 macro long 10 a.m. reversal ideal. I currently have 9 accounts. Relative equal lows on ES. Am I tripping? You journal all big news trades in separate journal and normal? No, all the same. All the same. Time can you trade on TBT since you can't trade news? I think it's just like you can't be in a. I don't know, maybe 2 minutes before or after the red folder, but it's only CPI, NFP, and the FOMC or something. Like you just can't take advantage of that big one. As long as you trade after time, which ICT model do you use? I made my own model using ICT's concepts. Yeah, there were one of my models is pretty similar to 2022, but no, I would say actually it's not. It's not really similar because it's pretty rare you'll see me buy a fair value gap when bullish. You know, I'll wait sometimes for a fair value gap tap, but I would say only like 2 out of 10 of my trades are am I buying in the fair value gap. Is the 941 short good? I don't think anything's good right now. Like I think it's 50-50. I mean, I think you would agree that there's no clear obvious move right now. Is it slowly moving lower? Yeah, but like in my opinion, there's nothing here to study besides the market went sideways for the first 30 minutes. Could you have found a potential move? Sure. You can always find a potential move. OB entries are so much easier on my mental. I don't know why. I just like the OB because they form more. And like I'd rather buy the strength. You know what's funny actually though? Like ICT technically did teach protraction, just never really explained it. A lot of people never really heard this part of the ICT 2022 mentorship, but he was saying like when there's a fair value gap and the market goes down and taps it, he was like, if you don't want to buy the fair value gap, then just put a buy stop right here on the most recent candle, that the high of it that went inside, and then as soon as it goes off, you buy that. And then he said you could put your stop here. When I heard ICT say that, like he literally said that in his 2022 mentorship. Like he basically told you another way to trade off of the fair value gap instead of just buying it. Um, he did say that, you know. So I just find it a little bit fascinating that nobody really talks about that when it terms in like how to trade with a fair value gap. Nobody really talks about that. So looks like we're gonna take out sell side here. We talked about those nice equal lows. I would want us to find support here. Just know that there's a gap below this sell side right here. I want to mark out both. No trades yet. Someone took a short. Me? It's on episode 38. I remember I note the date. There you go. You journal. Yeah, perfect. Well, we do have the SMT. ES takes out low of day. We have this nice gap here. We'll see where this goes. Hourly gap. We don't have to take out the sell side. We've done enough. We've done enough work. I may buy this inversion if it gets all the way up. Stop loss is quite large. 55 points. That's 110, but pretty good risk reward. Breaker formation as well. put an order at mean threshold of this OB. This candle just immediately expands and touches it. We'll go plus 2 ticks. This candle goes straight up to mean threshold. I'll just buy it there. 957, that's this candle. 50%. If we're just gonna, I want to get in. Otherwise, I'll just buy the inversion. All right, let's try this trade. We're thinking about 200 bucks. Loss is gonna go to the anticipated order block low. Three is off of pretty much just the strength there. That candle. Is there a volume imbalance there? Yeah, we just stop inside that volume imbalance. We get an immediate rebalance here. I'd want to see us find support there. Yeah, see, so far not the best reaction, but thanks. At 898.25. If we get a breaker and then a protraction model, I'll buy that. I like this immediate rebalance. If I was really ultra aggressive, I could actually put my stop here. We really should not go back below 925. What I'm going to do is put my stop at 906. Yeah, I really don't want to see us make a lower low. If we make a lower low there, I'm going to go to the 15-second chart. I may just cut it early. No, I won't cut it early, but just for reference sake, we really shouldn't go below 926. But I do kind of trust this overall being the low, so that's why I'm willing to hold on. But like if we get immediate rebalance and then the next candle invalidates, that's like a really low probability signature. I really want to see us stay above this white line right here. I liked how fast we touched the OB 50%, but doesn't seem too relevant anymore. Yeah, I mean, I'm willing to hold on. Now, reduce the stop by like 40 bucks. Thinking about terminating early. The thing is, I do trust this low and my overall bullish narrative. So it's sloppy in here, but I still trust this low, you know? So I don't want to jump the gun. Maybe if it starts going sideways here, a couple minutes, then we'll terminate early at 50% loss. ES does have a fair value gap here as well, so we can also give that a chance. Here. Check my stop. Dollar index is moving higher. Let's quickly check out the YM. YM is still weak. Feels like we just took an aggressive buy and potentially wrong about either the timing of this move or just the overall narrative is also possible, but I think I'm still bullish. We probably will see a run on sell side here. What I'm going to do is if the next candle starts trading higher, I'll terminate at 50% loss if it wants to give me that. It may just go immediately down, but if the next candle goes up, I'll close it at like if I can get a half loss. Makes sense. It could stop right here Fair value gap was filled on ES, but we shall see. Bottom of the FEG on S&P 500. This red line. Small gap there. Starting the trade. So at this point in time, I'd want to see the sell side taken. And if we get a breaker, I will try again. So if price does this, I'll try that trade again. The stop loss would be bigger on the second one. 68 points, assuming we get a breaker, but it still would look something like this. So we'll wait for the sell side, and then we'll see from there if we want to make something happen potentially. Yeah, we'll see. YM is still pretty bearish. In the grand scheme of things, YM is weak. Anyway, I would have to wait for this low to get taken for me to trust any long setup again. So we have to wait for the low. So we can just wait now and see if we get that. Today's difficult. Yeah. I think it was too difficult. Just a little slow. DXY closer to buy side. Yeah, exactly. DXY is getting closer to buy side. So running down bearish flow on tech stock short term expiry. I think tech stocks are mostly up on the day. I mean, if you look at AMD, Google, they're up pretty big. 50-50. Dow Jones is pretty down though. It didn't hit 926 if expand now could deliver. What price is your sell side? 25,886. It's just this low right here. So I have to see that get taken now for me to trust a long setup again. It took one trade there. Pretty much a full size loss. You got clapped on longs. Why are we longing? Because I'm bullish. Bonds plus DXY. 50, I mean bonds. I mean, yeah, those are usually in a range. Dollar a little bit less, but bonds is usually in a range. What's your bias? I'm still bullish on the day, so we'll just have to wait and see. Uh, yeah, I mean I took the long there too. Recommend break even. I don't know. It depends. I'm about to drop Apex every time I enter a trade and enter that it takes me out. It makes no sense. That is weird. I don't know. That shouldn't happen. Yeah, this is very slow for a CPI day. I thought this was looking pretty good with the SMT, the speed in the macro, closed above NWOG, some 15-second CISD was there, and then we got, we didn't get the full 1 minute closure above, but we got pretty good displacement. But fell short. So we'll see, either we have the wrong draw, or the market's just not primed yet, ready to go. So I'm assuming that we can take sell side and potentially reverse. But we'll see. Especially because we left these equal highs. We'll see. Who knows? Could be wrong. The next trade will de-risk and then pyramid in. So we won't go full size. I don't want to lose two full size trades today. So next trade we'll half risk and try to build up the position. Still can run a pretty good risk to reward trade. This is really slow for a CPI though, yeah. Pretty slow for a CPI day. We'll have to see what happens. Yeah. I mean, just gotta wait for sell side. At this point, if this SMT failed, that expansion couldn't get the breaker, you know, you gotta wait for the sell side. Did I full pour CPI? Not really. No. Kind of. Neutral. A lot of people made money from CPI today, though. It was a straight shooter. Think about risking 12.5% of your current max drawdown. You and Jeff are telling me to or 10% of your max drawdown. Yeah, that's not bad. $200 should be pretty solid for a proper. Okay, there's sell side. I'd want to see a real drop here below, and then a switch pivot higher. So like, it would be nice. I don't want to just see a little wick, but we'll see. Just got funded last week with the first time last week. A year learning. Now I notice myself being hesitant. Well, is it for sure hesitancy, or you just can't really find a clear, obvious trade? If you're down a bit, your risk is smaller. Sorry, I don't understand what you mean. What would you do if you were $20 short on an eval? What I would do is try to find a 5-handle run with 2 micros on the Nasdaq. We'll have to see what will happen over the next few. Yeah, potential buy. Yeah, I agree. Maybe. Yeah, it shouldn't be waiting here. I mean, everything is ready. I mean, at this point, the divergence is there. Nasdaq, yeah, sorry, dollar index swept the buy side. If we're gonna get an intraday reversal, should happen within the next 10 to 15 minutes. It's possible that we get something like this, like, you know, and then 10:30 or 10:50 does it. So I'm gonna be patient here. Like, I'm not gonna abandon my bias. Obviously, we're not gonna jump into a trade, but I'm gonna be patient. If it wants to form at 10:30 or 10:50, even 11, I'll be here until I'm convinced it's not going lower or I missed the long. Alan, it's CPI. Like, sometimes the morning session just sucks. It gets postponed to lunch, 10:50 going into 11:30. I'll wait. I wouldn't mind waiting. If we can accumulate here below the sell side, is what I'm saying. You know, accumulate shorts. Or sorry, accumulate longs below the sell side. Why enter long? Bullish, pretty good displacement. SMT from the hourly gap. Asia low, maybe, yeah. It's possible that was good for Asia. It could go all the way down to Asia, yeah. Like I said, anything is up for grabs today. If we do come all the way down here, I'd simply look for a reversal from there. So it can definitely go there, and it would not invalidate my idea. We'll see if it reverses. Obviously, could be wrong. Maybe it just goes. Maybe we're just bearish. We just keep going down. But if we are gonna go below here, yeah, this is your next objective, and we'll see if that offers something. What I want to see here is a small pullback, dump, and that. That would make me trust the long setup. Yeah, I mean, this doesn't look bad actually. Keep the low inside the 4-hour. I'm just gonna draw the fair value gap like this because I know there's a volume imbalance, but I want to see it get down into that below the low. So this is probably Asia low. Don't quote me. I'm not gonna go back and check the time. So what we're working with. We'll see if price wants to get down here. It's at 1040. I definitely see this going to those equal highs. Would be a classic market maker buy model. Yeah, yeah, it would be nice. I mean, I didn't think we were gonna get this low. I thought this sell, accumulate, buy. See. We're approaching Asia low. Yeah, that's right here. Red line. Definitely in play. And awesome. Yeah, literally A plus reckon that pays out in London. Don't worry about convincing your trade to anyone else, bro. It's not even worth the hassle. It's literally for you and your journal. So lucid trading a one-time payment, or would I get billed monthly? I actually don't know. Did anyone chat answer that? I think it's one time. Time fee, right? Does sweep an IFG possible if it sweeps it? Yep, that's definitely possible. That's basically what I would look for. I'd have to see a CISD, but good price on that. On MNQ8, 28, 25, 846. So if we get something simple, boom, that's fine. Or if we get boom, that's fine as well. I prefer scenario 2, but we'll see. Pass my alpha. How long will it take for them to process it? It should be pretty quick. I think it depends on the account. It should be quick though. There's sell side. I want to see this go a little bit lower, or even better, if we get this. That's A plus 1030 reversal. This A plus 1030 reversal. I'd probably go 2 micros. If it forms like that, I would just go risk 1R again. Okay, so we're down 2R. Actually, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'll risk 1 and then build it up. Do you want Lucid? I'm not able to take partials on it through TradeView. You can definitely do that. I think you just gotta figure out how. What time range you use for Asia? It's from 20 to midnight. However, if this low forms outside of that, say it was at 18, I would just use it. Like in terms of sell side marking, like Asia session, I specifically use that window from 10 p.m. to midnight. But or sorry, 8 p.m. to midnight. But I have no problem just pre-market Asia. Why did you not take the long after we inverted the 1 minute? Just to be clear, we never actually got this inversion, but I actually did take this long off of a 15-second CISD and the tap of this OB 50%. So I did take that long. But just to be clear, technically this never inversed. So if you took it off a 1 minute inversion idea, just know that it didn't. Obviously, I was anticipating it to form, but just to be clear, there is a volume imbalance in there. Okay, see that pullback? I like that. But now if we see this, that's good. It did inverse? No. You have to include, if you're trading ICT, you have to include the volume imbalance in your annotation. You don't draw the fair value gap like this. This is if you're trading ICT. You only include the wick if there's a volume imbalance. If you really want to be like, no, I mean, this is how ICT taught it. So, yeah. Say much as that. This is the micro. Look at MNQ. No, even MNQ, it didn't. Not me. I do. I draw like this. This is how ICT taught to draw it. 8 cap. I mean, yeah, you're trading CFD, so that's a little bit different. Assuming all the CFDs probably inverted. No, not 100%. 8 cap. That sell, yeah, in hindsight, sell delivered pretty nicely, pretty slowly. Okay, there's sell side, and the discount 15. I'd have to see a strong breaker now for me to trust the buy. Otherwise, yeah, I mean, you could. I don't think that's why the inversion failed. I think it's simply price was just drawn to sell side and it's fair value gap instead, right? So it was just the wrong draw, you know. Still could have played the next candle. I wouldn't say, oh, like, is that gonna save you every time? Like, I would say this is wrong draw. You know, it's not like, oh, we could have still closed above and came back down if the draw was lower. You get me? The draw was lower, so we just had the wrong objective at that time. Market was not going higher at that time. Which mentorship do you prefer, 2024, 2025? Definitely 2024. It's really good. Wrong bias. I wouldn't say necessarily wrong bias. For one, we don't know what's going to happen the rest of the session. That's one. Two, I would still be bullish going into the day every single time, right? If all-time highs is there on ES and we left the equal highs on Nasdaq, there's no reason for me to be bearish on a day like this. Could it go lower? Of course. Does it mean I'm going to be not bullish? No, I'll be bullish every time in this position. So I've talked about this before. Bias is not what ends up happening in the market. Bias is what was more likely to happen. If I told you you have a 90% chance that market's going to go up and you're bullish, but then market goes down, did you have wrong bias? No, you didn't have wrong bias. The market just went down, right? You were right to be bullish. It just didn't go up today. So the way I see it, right now, maybe there's something I'm missing, in which case I am wrong bias. I should have been bearish, maybe. But the way I see it as of right now, at least, is for me personally, there was no reason to be bearish going into the day. But like I said, even if these levels were taken, I said it on live stream that anything here is up for grabs. So this was all potentially expected. We'll just see if we disrespect this, then it's completely wrong draw. That narrative is killed. But as long as we don't disrespect this, I'm still bullish personally for me. Anyone has experience with funded next? Yeah, I've used funded next. If short bias, bearish. Nice. If you were bearish, nice, bro. Well done. Yeah, if you were bearish, that was a very good short. Swept the highs, inversion, pretty strong formation. Good job. Is it wrong to take an IPT that's created before market open? No, I mean, it depends on your model. There's no wrong or right in trading. How do I add text? Just click on the line and it should come up. There was kind of a reason. There was kind of a reason that you can't follow the retail. Everyone thought it was bullshit because of CPI, but text out. I disagree with the tech stocks, but you are right in the sense that YM was overall bearish. Overall, when the market opened, everything was very bullish. I mean, a lot of the tech stocks were up multiple percents. YM was bearish. The idea wasn't to chase CPI. CPI could have went down, and I still would have been bullish. The reason I'm bullish is simply because the higher time frame is still bullish. That hasn't changed yet. I saw someone on TikTok saying trading producers. Yeah, a lot of people do say that. I would say just do your own research and make a decision for yourself. How do I text? Yeah, look who's let's see if I took everything. Take a trade? Yeah, we took one trade. We're down 1R currently. 0.75 technically, but 200 divided by 250. If there's a volume balance on both sides, it is yes, correct. Is there activation fees on alpha? Not on the zero account, but on the standard and advanced account? Yes. I think advanced has, right? Yeah. How could the high five still be bullish, Scotty? We clearly have shifted structure on the daily and weekly. Where have we shifted structure, brother? S&P 500. Now, obviously, ignore this move because we're looking at before today. It's it's literally all-time highs. Like the day before took out all-time highs. Today we made a new all-time high. NQ, same thing. No bearish structure here. It's just slowly grinding higher. Could it pull back? Yeah, but I wouldn't say we shifted on the daily chart. It's definitely still bullish overall. If you look at YM, also still bullish. Today we made a new all-time highs on the YM. In this case, we swept all-time highs. Looks like we're going to take sell side now, or we reverse. Who knows? But YM and ES both made new all-time highs today. Obviously, Nasdaq's the weaker asset, but it hasn't shifted. There's SMT, but until we shift on the daily, like we'd have to break below this low. I'm gonna be still bullish, personally. in 2024, JK. Using prop firms are definitely. Well, prop firms is definitely fine. I don't know how people can argue that. Yeah, I'll keep the executions are. People keep asking. It's a little bit distracting, but this was the one trade I took. Next hour is very important. Yeah, I mean, I think this could be postponed a little bit, but we'll see. Platform use. I use Project X personally. Yep, I took a long there. Start now. I'd have to see a breaker. And I have to see a strong breaker, and I would de-risk on the setup. Try to pyramid in if I got positive feedback. I think it was a good trade. I mean, there was an SMT. My bias was bullish. It was in the macro. Closed above NWAG. Could argue that, oh, we didn't get real confirmation, but there was still 15-second CST. Like, I could have really taken it off this if I wanted to, all the way down here or here. I still waited for decent, significant. We inversed all the imbalances on the 15-second time frame. Obviously, we wicked up into this one, but that's just, I just had the wrong draw. Could I have waited for a breaker? Sure. Maybe I should have waited for a breaker. That's hindsight. Like, I can put that in my journal, but I did wait for 50% of that OB. Unfortunately, we absolutely, like pretty much topped it because it literally went. I don't know if you guys see my entry 95725. The high is 957.75. So if I just went 1 point above the OB 50% level, I would have never even been filled. I took it right at 50% of the OB because you don't want to see that get hit, right? If you're bearish, it really shouldn't come up this high. So the way I saw that was it was a great fill on the breaker. I guess in hindsight, like you could have waited for the breaker, but there's no point in only saying that because it didn't play out, right? So fib levels of these, I was just looking to see how far is -1 and how far is -2. That's what I was looking for. I wouldn't use that right now. It's just slowing down in here. This could definitely be waiting until lunch. So I'm gonna be patient. Do you think that Trump decision can affect market and turn it red? Trump can, yes. Whatever he wants to do can make a big difference. Can you talk about when you decide to go full time? A long time ago. Do I want to take an aggressive long? Yeah, I mean, off the 5-minute inversion would also be a breaker. I would take this. If this candle can go strongly now, 2 candles. I'll wait 2 candles. So 1 plus 1 more. If that gets the breaker, I'll take it with 1 contract. I would go stop at the full low. And there's a lot of room to pyramid in this trade idea. It has to be on the next candle, though. It needs to be this next candle. Sorry, just give me a second. I'll answer your question. I went full time from the beginning. I basically had a little bit of money saved up, and I was like, I'm going all in. If I lose all my savings, then I have to get a job and do both at the same time. And there was a point I was applying to jobs, but I never got accepted. And then eventually I got 3 payouts. And I was like, okay, maybe I don't need a job yet. This candle has to close above. I need a closure basis here. Above the blue box, or at least above the body. I'll take the trade, stop at the low, 1 contract only, and look to pyramid. Not opening myself up to full risk. Doesn't look like we're going to get it. No breaker. So that idea is killed. You finished school? I did finish school, yeah. 9:35? No, definitely no. They're too sloppy in here. Your name Gatie? Yeah, Gatie works. 1050 protraction model will be obvious to the AM session low. Possible. I'll lose you. I'm 23. Why about 5-minute inverse? It would also be the breaker. It's not the 5-minute inverse that I need to see. It's this breaker block. Like I need to see a break in structure. That was Too slow though. This candle should have went up. I suppose if this next candle immediately goes up because of the immediate rebalance and treating this as an order block, sure, I'll also trust that. But it needs to be this candle right here. Otherwise, I'm waiting likely until 1050 macro. There's a lot of room between us and this objective. And don't forget, our if we get above here, there's a good chance it runs here. Now, obviously, this is very extreme stuff I'm looking for. But what I'm trying to say is we don't need to FOMO in a trade here. There's a lot of room and a lot of opportunity. If this candle goes all the way up, I'll take it. Make it. ES gave breaker. YM's also shifting. We're gonna try it. I'm gonna try it with one contract. ES gave the breaker. YM also shifted. Risking one contract, $100 ish, and we're gonna look for an opportunity to pyramid. I mean, I'd say already we can put the stop at 816. Buller's like really going higher though. Pretty strong candle there. It's strong on not on strong, not as strong on ES. ES is back all the way up here. ES is a lot stronger. If this next candle goes up, I can add a contract, move my stop. ES 5-minute bullish for value gap. ES does look better. ES does look better. We may get souped. It's possible that we get an SMT here like this. In this case, I'll just enter again with one micro, and then that'll be my last trade idea. So this one's half risk. ES looks pretty good. Like I can't lie, ES looks pretty good. There's no way I could switch to trade ES, right? So we'll see. We do close below these two down close candles. Not a good sign. Price comes up here. May terminate it at half risk or half loss. So $50 instead of 100, which is instead of 200. ES looks good though. Like I can't lie. If ES closes above here, I would want to add a contract. We'll see what ES does. I think we may get souped. It also could just be wrong bias, and I keep longing, but it's also possible that we do something like this, get an SMT. I'd want to see this start moving higher though, because there's a long way to go. So if we're gonna move, you'd want to see that below. If we make a higher high here on ES, I'll buy one more, move my stop here. I don't think we will, if I'm being honest. But I kind of just want to accept the risk that it's already managed. Yeah. So we will get the SMT most likely. Whether or not we go higher is hard to say. It's possible that this low is still protected and this was just a sweep. We'll see. The breaker invalidated. Um, but we could get another breaker here. And like I said, I would add on this. If we can get above this. So ideally, that was a sweep. This is protected low. We get another higher high. I add on that, move the stop here. Maybe I'm asking for too much. We'll see. So we get an SMT here to see what happens after that. I don't want to lose more than 2R in one day. So we've already lost 1R here. We may lose half R here. I'm okay taking one more trade, risking half R. But if I lose that one, I'd be done on the day. Because that's my definitive limit. 2R loss per day is my max. Stops at 816. Yeah, I'm not gonna trust that. Yeah, I guess I could wait for the breaker there. Move the stop to 819. Doesn't make a big difference. It's already a smaller loss. That's why I don't want to touch it. And the narrative is still there. Like that still hasn't been like yes, it's sloppy, but again, I'm taking a reversal, assuming this is protected low, right? If we are bullish, maybe the slow doesn't get taken. So I'm happy with just accepting the risk. It's already managed. Um, and like I said, if we do get a sweep lower, um, if we do get a sweep lower, then it's simple. I'll just wait for I mean SMT is going to be 1050 macro, and we may get a lunge reversal. Or I'm wrong. But if we do get a sweep with SMT and then we break again higher, I mean, it'd be pretty surprising to me if that also fails. So we'll see. Ideally, though, we just move up and then 1050 macro protraction long, which is my favorite model. I can add on that. That would be so ideal. Do I think it's going to happen? I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. Not looking the best right now, but ES looks like pretty good. We can check out the YM quickly. Yeah, YM looks good as well. So, I mean, you could, all right, looks good. It depends what your definition of looks good. Obviously, could offer a short setup here on YM, 15-minute bearish, CISD. That's a protraction on YM. But if we're bullish, higher high, that's a really good sign. I think what I would do here is here. I'll set an alert here and here to see what YM does next. I'm in. Yeah, I'm in with one micro only. We can't let trendline traders get away with this. It's been too easy for them. You trade? I wouldn't say so. Like, it just went down. You can't really complain about that. Just kept slowly going down. So if I lose today 2R, or if I win whatever ends up happening, the worst case scenario is I lose 2R. I can't really be mad. Just had the wrong draw. Took some longs. Wrong draw. It's fine. If I had the right draw, like if the market was gonna go here, I took the right trade. Like, that's what matters. If the market was gonna go here or here, this trade makes perfect sense, and this trade makes perfect sense. And if I take a third trade after we sweep with SMT, and if it's another reversal model, that will also make sense. So I'm personally very okay losing if it's just wrong draw. That's fine to me. A good reason to lose a trade, in my opinion. I mean, assume like if you're repeatedly losing because of wrong draw, sure. But I tend to usually have the right draw, so you guys know me. You've been watching me long enough. Usually the draw is right. Usually all the targets are hit. Um, is there a 2-minute CB in there? No. We'll just wait here. Ooh, yeah, we did sweep here on the body, so. Dollar put in a high, is moving lower. I mean, we'll put the stop at 819. Sure. Doesn't really make us. I mean, it makes a difference. It adds up, it adds up across all the accounts and such. What I really want to see is us get above this line that I'm extending right now. I'm expecting some speed to come in. Not necessarily higher, hopefully higher, but I am expecting some speed here. See, I like the trade that I took. SMT here for now. I don't know if it's gonna hold, but there is. YM get stopped. Down to 1.5 R on the day. Take a look at YM. Okay, YM made a lower low. Yeah, it honestly looks like YM's just gonna go lower. Looks like YM is gonna go lower. Doesn't really look bullish. YM looks pretty bearish. I guess today just might be a sell day. So, I mean, worst case, we walk away half 1.5 R. At least it was managed in that sense. There's the SMT I was talking about. I don't know if it's gonna hold. Hypothetically speaking, if the next candles really do get an aggressive breaker, I'll try again with one micro. Um, it would be the best setup of the day, 1050 macro with the SMT in the discount 15 with a stronger breaker setup the way this formed. Is it gonna form? I don't know. I don't think so. I think it may just go lower, but I'll try it. I would try it. So I'll put a buy stop here for one. I'll risk my last half R on the day. Um See if he wants us to get in there. Take this at A4. Make sure it's not just gonna wick the CISD. I mean, yeah, we'll try it. Last setup of the day. Stop loss here. So, yeah, how far? I'll buy this as it goes down. This is the last trade of the day. Win or lose. Third long of the day. So we'll see. Either we're completely wrong about the draw. The good news is, even if we're wrong, only gonna lose 2R. And if it does become a winner, as long as I don't fumble the trade management, it should make back everything. So we're gonna try it. Yeah, third trade. Third trade. So if risk management wants to pay us a little fee for our hard work. What's ES is what, $5 a point for a stop? $5 a point, right? ES is $5 a point. Yeah, it's $5 a point. Okay, we may get an early protraction here. Let's say hypothetically market does this. Boom. Right? I'll buy one more, move stop here, and I said end, to be honest. Just got to make sure we never lose more than 100. And if we're a little bit off, it's okay. Not a big deal. ES buy side is what level? 0.36, best case scenario. Really high up. Damn, that's really high up on ES, huh? 930 high sitting at 7024. So we'll see. Last trade of the day. I'm gonna move my stop loss to 815. We'll go 814. Slightly reducing the risk, not by much. Slightly. We're risking $62 on this trade. Again, I want to try to pyramid. It hasn't given me much yet. The what we get. Yes, good pyramiding opportunity. There's the speed I was looking for. Add one there. Obviously, that could be getting completely faked out. I think there's a 15-minute bearish. Yeah. So there's a 15-minute bearish for value gap right there. We're gonna go to stop to 821. To the bottom here. Should be a balanced price range. Should not go back there. See what this gives us in terms of targeting. I'm quite hopeful for a reversal. Obviously, could be wrong. If we start seeing something like a bullish for value gap in like fails, okay, that's where you start seeing. Now, honestly, you could even argue a break even here. If I'm being quite honest, you really could. This gap should form with the breaker and should hold. So For now, just go 826 for now. Now, 826. Not break even, but it's like pretty much. Let's see what this gives us. Dollar index pivoting lower, good sign. I don't know what this. Oh, we're almost above 830 on ES. That's good. I'm in on my live account on this trade. Um, as well. I took it on ES though, just because the risk was better. We have a ripper here. I think we may have a ripper. I'm gonna be honest. My TP is hold. No, I haven't added. When I said I was adding, I'm talking about my live account. It didn't really give me an opportunity to add one here. Stop's gonna go break even here for sure now. We're going to 845. So minimum we're gonna be down today is. Sorry, I'm gonna go 848. 7. Where's this? 847 is good. The minimum I'm gonna be down today is 1.5 R. Very acceptable. Nice catch. Not necessarily yet, but maybe. Stop loss in ES is 99325 or 99350. I'm not risking much on my live account anymore. This fair value gap should hold if we're bullish. If it fails, don't want to be in the trade. Nasdaq wants to be nice. Like this would be great. Be a great opportunity. I could add one in here. Now, obviously, I could be very wrong and we just get souped, but I think I'm willing to take the risk. So we'll see if we get the tap there. I'll likely add one. In worst case, again, we're down to R, which is very acceptable for me. It's stab in there. I'm watching the speed. All right, we'll buy one there. So notice I bought one, but how much am I risking? 60 bucks. 60 bucks. So still less than half R. Only risking 60 bucks on this trade. So buying in that fair value gap, I want to see that be offered opportunity for higher prices. I'm hoping this is a runner. My main target is ES buy side, 924. So my main target for this trade is where is that? Here on ES. ES is the leading asset. It's gonna be rolled to 854. If you want to be aggressive, you can put your stop here at 875. 5 is my stop though. If you want to be aggressive, you can. It should hold as a bullish order block. And if it's bullish and we're going to go all the way up here, we're not even in premium yet. So it should still be relatively quick. We're not even in a premium. I think that's a little bit aggressive because we may get a 3-minute gap, may want to come back. I think as long as your stop covers 855, if you want to be safer, 837. I'm happy with this. Regardless of the outcome of the trade, this will be my last trade of the day. Quite a draining day, 2 attempts long. Try not to get emotionally attached. Always open to another pyramid. Now let's say hypothetically we get something like this. I don't want to see that. That's not a good sign, but hypothetically, say we get something like this, then I would add one more and move my stop to whatever low gets formed here. So besides that, we just wait. Went in heavy. What's river? I don't know what river. IO fed. Ideally, but if it's IO fed, it's already taking too long. Like this next candle needs to go. Otherwise, I'm already skeptical about this IO fed. We didn't inverse the second 5-minute FG. That a problem? As of right now, it looks pretty bullish. If we make a lower low than this, that's where I'd start being skeptical. Especially if it's on a closing basis. Is it a problem? No, there's no problems. I mean, it's risk management, right? The stop's not here anymore, right? The stop's here, so there's no problem. We inverse the 15. That's a good sign. My stop's below the 50% wick of the 15. That's good. I look at the 30-minute. It's right there. So could I be wrong? 100%. If I'm wrong, what's going to happen? It's going to do this, and that's protraction short. If it closes below. Hopefully we don't see that. Yes, not much more to say than that. I like how the bodies respected the order block here. I don't like how we didn't see any speed. If you look at the bodies there, they respected, but no speed. Could we get sloppy in here? I like that we left equal highs. It's a good sign in the sense that we may sweep and then go. This would be a huge winner given the pyramids. So we'll see if we can get it. It can sweep this. I don't want to see it trade to the bottom. 3-minute. My stop covers the 3-minute fair value gap. There's a breakaway in here. I'd want to see that stay open. TP target. I'm aiming for the AM session highs on S&P 500. ES is a little bit more bullish. ES is over here. ES is trading up here. So ES is leading. So I'm going to judge my take profit based off of ES, if that makes sense. So I'm aiming for AM session highs. You don't see a TP there because, well, I mean, there's no point because I don't know where ES is going to, I don't know how high ES is going to go. The consolidation here is fine. Could be a huge win for my live account. If we can get it. My point is that until someone take the model. Yeah, I mean, people are probably saying whatever in chat. Don't worry about them. I mean, just focus on you, your model, your system, your trade management, your risk management, your money management. All right. Everyone's up or down a certain amount today. Everyone's, down a certain amount up in the week. You have to adjust based on those numbers, manage your risk. You got to do what's best for you. I'm just here talking about what I see, right? Currently, I'm down 1.5 R on the day. So for me, that's actually only down 260. So how did that happen? Was this loss reduced? I'm down 260 bucks across my accounts. Not Alpha Futures. That one is waiting for payout. So again, that one's not being traded until Monday. My live account's flat on the day. This was my first trade on the live. I'm down. Usually I risk 200. That's my general 1R. I'm down 250. So pretty good, I'd say. Pretty good. Are you satisfied with your boot camp for now? What do you mean satisfied? What do you mean satisfied? I like the work. Yeah, boot camp's putting in good work. How much you risk on a 50K eval? Anywhere between 500 and 1,000, depending on my goal. Like if it's just one account I need to pass, okay, we'll go 500. If there's a discount going on, trying to get 3 accounts passed, I'm gonna go with 1,000. You know. Depends on the situation. We might stay for another couple hours. Couple hours. I don't know about couple hours. Maybe an hour. But going to full par CPI tomorrow. CPI tomorrow? What? You talking about? I'm assuming you mean PPI, and you can try. It's not going to be as volatile, but you may get it. You may get it. PPI is not as big. I've seen some big PPI candles, but it's pretty rare. Looking on ES, yeah, I'm in on ES and NQ, so we'll see. It looks like we may sweep that low, which is fine. To see the pyramid. The thing is about pyramiding here is like I don't like that we left that low here. We also could just leave it. I mean, let's go hypothetical scenario. You know, we get above 109. That's 109 points, 200. That's full. That's already green 1R on the one. That's almost green 2R on the day. So even if we don't get a full TP, I can at least secure the green day and just accept the fact that I took, you know, maybe not the best 2 trades earlier. There is one issue with how this formed. I think it's possible the next 2 candles go down and break and form protraction short if we're bearish. Like if we're bearish, it's the next 2 candles are gonna move lower. Yeah, I do not want to see a lower low at this point. I am a little bit skeptical that this may start to pull lower within the next couple minutes. I feel like that's definitely a possibility. Times 5 is what? What's 3 times 5? 15. 15 times 5 is. Well, I'm just because now that we consolidated, we swept this high. We didn't see the speed. We're still inside that 30-minute civvy. So if I'm wrong about the draw, this is where my model would form short. I still hold this, but just saying where it would be. Index made a higher high as well. Yeah, dollar made a higher high. Kind of a little bit hopes and dreams. And not really. I mean, I still believe in the underlying narrative, but I'm trying to lose some hope. There's a 5-minute gap here now. I'd say stop probably needs to cover 850. Best case scenario, we get a 5-minute breakaway. How nice would that be, huh? How nice would a 5-minute breakaway gap be right now? See. If we get a strong move higher to NVOG, I'll move my stop. That's what I'd probably have to see. Oops. Aggressive trail got me SL secured 1.3x of whatever. I should have held SL. I mean, maybe not. You don't know. It is pretty tight in here. It's it is looking more 50-50 now, but we'll see. Don't worry about the profits as much as worry about how much you're gonna lose. You know, bio is hilarious, man. You know, try not to worry about like how much you're gonna make, how much you worry about the stop loss. I'm not risking much on this trade, and that's what matters. You know, so focus on reducing the stops. You can talk about the other stuff now. Does it matter we're above midnight? No. At this point in time, it really just comes down to where is the draw, right? Uh, if we're gonna run the buy side, you should start seeing speed within 5 to 10 minutes. The speed to new week opening gap. If we get above that, should be a free run. It could be sloppy, but I mean free run, like we'll likely move the highs. Um, or we're bearish, in which case we start moving lower from premium. You know, inverse this gap, run this low here. Just depends on the draw, really, at this point in time. You probably still don't, Sonu. Trust me, the live trading drawdown is not as bad as it seems. It's not like you're gonna be up $1,000, right? Like, as long as you're risking comfortably, you know, if you're risking anywhere from 100 to 250 per trade, what the most you're gonna like? Let's say you go up 2R. Okay, if you go up 2R and it comes all, you're up 1K. Is there an eval? I mean, yeah, if you're up 1K, then that kind of matters. You can't lose that on 100K. Yeah, I don't think that's that bad. Right? Eval. Although on the eval, you are right. It's a little bit more aggressive because you obviously you're risking more, so better chance you blow it. We're getting a consolidation of doom here, and making me flip, like not flip bias, but like it's uneasy to hold this trade. So let's just reach out. Risk 250 and TP when we hit 1, 2, 3, then leave a runner. Nice. Consolidation made me doubt holding this. I don't blame you, bro. I don't blame you. Did you take the IFEG? Yeah, I took it on the premise of assuming the CISD, but yeah, pretty much that's the idea. I'm already 1% down in this trade, and stop is on break even. Enter on 996 MES. You got 996 on. Yo, I got 996 on MES. We got the exact same fill. I actually got 996.5, so I guess your fill was better. My TP is AM highs on S&P 500. What happens if I'm way over my consistency rule? You're just gonna have to make more money. You're gonna go over it. Like everybody goes over their consistency rule at some point when they make their first amount of money. You just have to make more money. That's all. The more money you make, your consistency goes down and down. Right? Isn't this a bull flag right now? Is that what I'm seeing? Like I said, once we get NWOG, that's where my stop gets rolled here. I still think it's possible we soup. Just out of curiosity on a money management perspective, how much am I saving here? 26.50 bucks. I'd be down only 1R with my stop here, so yes. Dollar is looking scary. Yeah, dollar is going higher and nothing is stopping. I know. I risk 250. The wandering snail pattern. Not an easy hold. Not an easy hold, but just remember that the risk is managed, right? Just remember the risk is managed. How do you mark out new week opening gap? You go back to Friday's closing price and the opening price on Sunday at 6 p.m. You're going to see the closing price on Friday, the opening price on Sunday. Those two lines are your anchor points, and then you'll see this. This is where we started the trading week. So right now, we're below where we started the trading week. If we get back above, I'd view that as a pretty good sign that we're bullish. So, you know what, man? Like, thank God for this one candle here at 10:54. Because if that candle didn't form, this would be so stagnant on our entry right now. Okay, but I want to see this reverse. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. I'll be honest. I'm just gonna sit here with my risk managed, see what the market wants to give me today. If it wants to give me a nice TP, that'd be great. If not, maybe it'll give it to me another day. It's doing the Gaddy kiss face pattern. I don't know. To me, this looks like a camel. Hump, leg, long neck, and then the head. Camel pattern. ES is not pushing through. Nothing is pushing through except dollar index. I'm gonna take a look at YM. Yeah, definitely some red flags. But again, the risk is managed, so I'm comfortable holding. The 15-minute already balanced out. There is a huge 10-minute gap. Nasdaq's moving higher. S&P finally made a higher high as well. It's so weak. This consolidation is really from doom. I mean, we're gonna have to be here for a while. Why not stop at break even? It's quite literally break even. Why does it not? Because I'm not worried about the money. I want my stop loss to cover the full gap here, and the full gap here, and the full gap here. That's the only reason. Okay, we may get NWOG, in which case stop gets rolled. Just gonna quickly check here. We're above the 5-minute. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to see the 5-minute low here get taken, right? Should be a 5-minute breakaway at 874. I would say this should be a 5-minute protected low. All right, stop is going to 880. We're at least mitigating some of the loss that we included today. Not much of it, but some of it. Live account stop is going to 997.75. And at this point, it's quite literally hopes and dreams. So if NASDAQ wants to be real nice, someone just wants to shoot this up all the way to pre-market highs, hey, that would be wonderful. I could even add a contract in here, but this is not the price action that I would want to see for me to buy a contract. So there's no way. There's no fair value gaps. There's no sweep and go. There's not really much. So you think you stop premature? No. Think about it like this. If we're gonna make a lower low here now, like a candle would come here and do this. I would not want to be in the trade because one, it means we're gonna come into this 5-minute gap, in which case either we inverse it or get another setup from it. So if I want to, I can just take another entry from the 5-minute gap, right? Or it's gonna inverse and I don't get a setup and it just goes down. Are we worried about this 15-minute Civi chat? Yeah. Yeah. Realistically, this gap on ES should hold. You could put the stop even higher here. I like 8.8. So I was literally gonna move my stop 1 point higher for $4 more. So silly. I like to stop at 8.85 though. I might close this trade actually. The way ES is looking right now, I think I'm gonna close on my live account. I want to see ES has a gap here. ES has a gap. I don't want to see price even trade here. So I'm like kind of aggressively moving my stop. It should go quickly higher right now on S&P. Obviously, NASDAQ should follow. I closed on my live account plus 2%. Actually, plus a little bit less. I wanted more from it. It didn't give it to me. I'm thinking about closing here and just mitigating my loss. We'll see what the next couple candles do. If ES trades here at 7,000, I'll terminate. Yeah, I'm gonna terminate. I think I'm terminating this trade. Okay, I'm gonna terminate that trade on the premise that ES just formed my model short very quickly, aggressively, and strongly from the 15-minute gap. So majority of the loss mitigated for today. We're down $50. That's 0.25 R for me. Actually, 0.25 R. That's what I get. That's what I get. So we'll sit here. We'll watch for a bit. Could have been wrong to do that, but it's I don't really want to think about it now. Now it's just for the journal. So for those of you still in, I hope it plays out for you guys. I wasn't worried about the money. ES formed my model short. And from a very logical point in premium. I hadn't taken any partials. I can't take any. It didn't make sense to take any partials, so I think that was the right move. In hindsight, maybe I could just close one, but then it doesn't make sense. So I'm happy with that for now. We always come back in the PM session. See, watch this. I mean, it's not like this trade was looking so great. Such an obvious, easy hold. It looks so good. Hold the trade. It's not like it was like that anyway. So check out YM. I feel like this is just waiting to move lower. Like YM's not making higher highs. ES formed for traction short from the 15. There's SMT here. A lot of red flags. And if I can mitigate, 75% of my loss, that's wonderful. On my live account, I'm up 1.5%. That's also pretty wonderful. Given what this trade gave me. I mean, I didn't ask for this. I didn't ask for 25 minutes of 440 points. My stop loss was 40 points. I waited 25 minutes for 1R, you know? So if it gives me anything better, maybe I would have held more, but for now, we'll just see. I wouldn't take the short. There's like no volume. The line does not concern itself about the red flags. The line does not concern itself with the red flags. He holds to TP. Wait, what? You guys just happen to say the exact same thing at the exact same time? This is gonna be a tough hold. I hope this. Is anyone still holding? Is anyone in the trade? Just waiting. I'm assuming good amount of people. Me. Yeah. I'm holding. Plus 1,000. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, a lot of people want this. I hope this plays out for you guys. I really do. I really do. Also to know that I was overall right in my idea. SL's tight. That's good. Yeah, as long as your risk is managed. I don't know if you guys were down on the day or up, but I was down on the day, so I already took 2 trades, and I don't think they were bad trades. But if this is what the market's gonna give me, and I can mitigate, majority of my loss, I don't have to end green. If my red day is minus $50, I'm not gonna complain. That's a great red day, especially when I took 2 losses and I took a third trade long. And this is the kind of feedback I got from the trade. 24 minutes of 40 points doesn't mean it can't go higher, but I'm just saying like it's not like it was so easy, obvious, bullish narrative. Everything is looking good. It was. I was second guessing it ever since like for like 20 minutes I was second guessing. So if this is what a losing day looks like, that's a really good losing day in my opinion. So I'm very content. Um, I still think at some point this is possible. Like I'm still bullish. Like one thing I can't ignore is the narrative is still bullish for me, like pretty clearly. Like I said, I didn't want to look for any shorts today. The 1 hour looks pretty good actually. This can go. The only question is what stop is safe before it goes. Like, is this safe? You'd want to see it safe, right? Because if it comes back here, not a good sign. Um, you still think it's easy obvious? I agree with you in the sense that this low is safe, but in the sense that like where would I put my stop that makes sense? Like I didn't like my stop here that much. The only stop that really made sense was here, but I didn't really you know, like I think this is probably low of session. It could be. It 100% could be a pullback, and then it takes out this low, and then if it takes out this low, you know where it's going, right? Um, Possibility. Below the IO set, yeah, that's where I had it originally at 856, thinking that it can soup this. There's a 10-minute gap right here. There's a 10-minute gap. That's the highest gap. That's right here. So, I mean, I don't know where to say that now. There's a 10-minute gap. There's also a 5-minute gap. We haven't really had a retracement on the trade yet. So I think it's possible we get a soup and go. I may even re-enter the trade, you know? If it wants to come back to the 5-minute. There is an SMT here for those who are not trading S&P. Glad I closed. I would have been stopped out. So there is an SMT there. The good news is, if it's bullish, if we make a higher high here, you can almost guarantee that it's going to go to this blue line at least, because that's where the previous SMT was. So that's some good news. Getting better at knowing which trades to enter and which to not. Yeah, that's really all that matters. So we'll see. My stop was originally here, and I'm happy if price can maybe soup, and I would re-enter if it forms clean. Like if it forms like this, yo, look how good this setup is, guys. Like if we're talking about ICT structure, this shit was clean. This looks like it's gonna free fall. Look at ES, guys. I'm glad I closed my ES trade because that would have been full stop. My stop was here, +1. So I'm glad I closed my ES trade. I recognize my model formed short. If I show you guys YM, you probably don't even want to look at anything anymore. YM is making a lower low. Remember that protraction model on YM I said? The 1043? Yeah, that's going to play out to low of day probably. I would not be comfortable holding this trade on the NASDAQ any longer. I think we had the wrong bias. I think the wrong draw. There's the 5-minute fill. Okay, let's say hypothetically we get a really strong inversion. That probably got most of you out. Yeah, I mean that probably got most of you liquidated, I'm assuming. Did I just call the shit out of the free fall? I mean, it was so readable because ES made a lower low. But yeah, not I'm gonna say it's so readable, but like you ever just felt it in my instinct, like that was gonna fill. Could it be bullish? If you're still in the trade, I put my stop at 50% of this wick plus 1 point, or sorry, minus 1 point. If we're bullish, we would not want to visit that right now. So hypothetical tape read. That's 2R. That's not even bad. I wouldn't take that, but I'm gonna take a look at YM. If YM soup the lows, ooh, yo, this could be a good setup. I ain't even gonna lie. YM soup the lows. There's SMT, Nasdaq's leading strength. 11:30 in 2 minutes. 60 point stop. Risk $60. All right, let's try. I'll risk $60 on this trade. It's definitely worth the attempt. So, but Daddy, you said you're not gonna take any more trades. Well, you know what? What I said. It's the same trade, re-entry. Right? Same trade, re-entry. What do you know about re-entry? Nothing. I may just take it to the high right here. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't clicked the buy button on Top Step yet. I kind of forgot. This is on Take Profit Trader. I like this. Build, projection. YM looks good. Like for once, the entire session, they all align right now. Like this is literally the one time all three indices could potentially move higher. We swept on YM, strong expansion, swept on ES, expansion, NQ, expansion. It's literally the one moment in time where they all are in alignment. I'll show you guys the 15-second chart so you guys know what it looks like. See that wick on the 1 minute? Yeah, this is what it looks like on the 15-second. There's no wick, just a fair value gap here. So I'm gonna wait before I enter on Top Step. I don't know what exactly I'm waiting for, if I'm being completely honest. It's not the clearest. That 30-minute gap fill, I may just take it there. Top Step. What's the stop? 869. I'll enter now on Top Step. Stop is 86975. So I just bought the 30-second fair value gap there on Top Step, basically. Just a little bit deferred entry. Speed above this high. Stop gets set here. And we just let it free fall. And I'm just gonna set and forget, go make food and such. If we get above this high, I'll move my stop here. And at that point in time, I'm set and forgetting. I'll add one there. I take it back what I said. If we get above here, put a buy stop here. I'm already gonna move my stop to 894. Top step, I'm moving my stop to 894. I'm risking $15 on the trade. So that's 30-second protraction. So you guys see the fill and go. I am now in 2 contracts on Take Profit Trader. I'm in 2 contracts on Top Step, risking $60. Now we'll just let this one go. Also, where's all my annotations? Where's all my NWOG and stuff? Like, did I delete them back to it? Can't see anything. Oh my. Okay, we can just switch tabs. I didn't realize I could do that. Okay, NWOG, next draw. Top is 896. We're going 89675. Oh no. Actually, we're past that. We're past that. How many? This is micros, but I don't trade minis. $60. Otherwise, it would be 700. That buy side is I'm up 1 arm on the day. That's pretty good, no? It's going 989, 98, 9850. Just managing risk. If we get that gap, it's going all the way. I don't even know where it's going actually. As I can do. Below 50% of that OB, right? So it's already there. I could maybe squeeze in 0.5. So I like 89850. So we're risking $50 on the trade. So worst case scenario today, worst case scenario, I'm down half R. Right? That's great. Yeah, new week opening gap. Should have added maybe 2 contracts. How'd you do today? I managed my risk really well, I'd say. I mean, yeah, that OB is in play. I can't really move the stop. I want to move it here, 910, to that fair value gap that's forming. But it could definitely trade into OB. But if I look at OB, OB's at 907, so we could definitely move this to 901. Go 902.25. Trail the stop, manage the risk. The target during his and flow state. I'm generally surprised he re-entered again. You're right. I took 4 longs today. It's not. I've actually done more, so believe it or not. Okay, hear me out. I'll show you guys flow state. Flow state is 1 partial here, guarantees me break even actually plus $40 on the day, and then it's set and forget. It's set and forget for December high. Is that the play? That's it. I'm guaranteed green on the day now. Stops at 909. But you know what? I'll put it just where here it is. I'll put it at 912, so it's the same executions. We're guaranteed. Just for reference, I took a partial on Top Step 1. I'll just do it here too. We're guaranteed break even on the day. And now that's it. Now, we never opened ourselves up to too much risk. If we get a full TP, we're up 2 or 3 R. I don't know how much. And I can always pyramid, but I'd have to make sure my stop's in profit to pyramid. As long as my stop is above the entry, I can pyramid and stay break even on the day. Oh, this may take a while then. I'd say one buy side. I only have one. I don't have the luxury. I only in one survival of the fittest at this time. I would not assume us come all the way back down here. I'll be honest though, I don't know if I'm gonna sit here. I mean, it's been a while here. We've been here for a while now. We got above NWAG. If you guys remember first presentation here, I really do want a pyramid. Buy that contract back, but I need to see like like that or like prices here. If I get like this, because then I can pyramid and put my stop here. You know, if I add one now, then I'm not guaranteed break even on the day. Believe it or not, ES is not doing. It's not just doing its own thing. ES is actually higher up. No, I take that back. You're right. ES is a little bit lagging behind. No, isn't that first presentation 1003? No, believe it or not, they're at pretty much the same price level. So it looks like ES is not doing much, but that's because Nasdaq was just catching up. They're both here right now. They're both pretty much here. So yeah, like believe it or not, they're actually good. They're good. Just the bottom of that fair value gap. It's probably a cleaner, yeah, cleaner 3 minute. Yeah, I mean the stop doesn't make complete sense, but again, I want to make sure I'm break even on the day. It's at this point, it's about money management. Copy trade Gaddy's back in meta. You might copy trade Gaddy now. I'm gonna be honest. Now is not the time to copy trade me, guys. My win streak has been extended long enough. Surely I'm gonna have some red days soon. Surely, like this is the longest win streak I've ever had. It's still continuing. I don't know. I don't even know how to. I don't even know how to feel. You know. I don't know how to feel. I'm trying to remind myself to show up and manage risk. How long is it? Actually, technically, we had one red day. I do remember one red day, but I think it was only on like one fair. Like it was only on take profit. It doesn't even like really count, guys. My last like real losing day was December like 5th. I lost on December 4th and December 5th or something like that, and it's literally been green since New York. Like since I arrived in New York, we took literally no lot. We took losing trades all the time, but the losses were small, and we ended up having either break even or green days. This is the longest win streak I've ever had. I don't know how to feel about it, like straight up. I'm not even trying to brag. I know it's probably like frustrating for maybe some people to hear that because they're maybe not on a win streak. I've been on really bad losing streaks too. I don't know if I'm just in flow state or if it's the fact that my risk management is just like doing so much heavy lifting. It's probably that. And also, I think just the consistency in my mindset, just showing up and, my goal was never really to make money. My goal was always to keep my losses small. Right? Like, remember on this trade, I was debating entering with two. I was like, no, let me focus on the risk management. I almost entered with, full size risk here. And then I would have been a loss. And then I wouldn't be break even now. This would have been a red day. But you see how the risk management plays off at the long run? Yeah, maybe it was the bull balls. I don't know. But technically, it started before that. Like, it was even 3 days before that. So thank you, Big Mike. Yeah, I mean the risk management was there. I still need to do better in terms of no, not much. Not much. Not much. I mean, I was all over today's price action, but I mean, there's not much I need to do better, I would say. Here, should I exit? I wouldn't exit. It depends on your money management. Like right now, I'm guaranteed break even on the day. I already took 2 losses, but my risk is managed and I partialed, so I'm guaranteed break even. I have no problem holding. I'll hold this. I'll hold this for till 4 p.m. if I have to. I genuinely have no problem holding this trade. Um, you know, that's because I know the worst case scenario happens is we did all of this for break even, and it'll be a good day to study. Like I was all over this price action. It's definitely gonna be a good day to study. So if I can walk away break even with a good study day, can't be mad. Yeah, and if this wants to print us like obviously this is. I mean, I'd be up. I'd be only up if I'm being honest. I'm only gonna be up like 1.5 R if price goes all the way here. That's assuming no pyramid. I really don't know where I'd pyramid. There's no opportunity. Again, if price can do like that, I mean, worst case, even if I pyramid, I lose like $50. It's not a big deal. Like, entries today, couple, couple entries today. You pyramid often or depends on setup? I always look for it. Yes, if the market gives me the positive feedback and the opportunity, I'm always looking to pyramid. I'm always trying to make the most out of my winners. So I traded here. I added a contract here. TP. These two trades just pretty much lost. There was no opportunity to pyramid. Oh, does it pain me to be in one micro right now? I ain't gonna lie, it's a little bit painful. I could just go for the winning day on Top Step, I suppose, as well. Right? What's the winning day? I'll just secure it. I think I need 120. I need $125. We just go. Top Step's 150 now, right? They changed their stuff. What is that? 985. Did I manage risk on this account? I'm assuming it's the same executions. $8 we're up. That would guarantee me up 200. Oh, this is. I don't know. I'm thinking about closing it at just a winning day for Top Step. I mean, I'll move my stop here. Wait. Hold up. Wait, let me think about magic. Let me test this out on Take Profit Trader. Where's my entry gonna go if I click buy right now? I should be able to put my stop here, right? Yeah. Okay, I'm happy with that. Guaranteed break even. Stop at the bottom of that fair value gap. Okay. On Top Step, I can guarantee that it's a break even trade. Break even on the day. If this fair value gap holds, we're in two cons. Now the TP is a lot more. So I think that was the pyramid I was looking for. So stop at 945. If I did the math correctly, on Top Step it's for sure correct. I don't see this. I don't even care about this account too much. I mean, I care about it, but like worst case, 20, $30 down, not a big deal. Pretty much all comes down to this fair value gap. Let me just see what's the stop here at 9. Top Step I have it at 94675. That's what we're rocking with. Two cons. IO Fed. Don't come back to NWAG. Go up to first presentation. Inverse. Run the buy side. And then now I can take $200 here. Or I just take the 400 there. We're talking about December high. Out of curiosity, call it 120. Money would be a nice TP, huh? About to 950. I mean, this is my main target. My TP is set at December high. That's the best case scenario. I don't want to put a TP yet. You feel me? I want to get the most out of this trade I can until I get negative feedback. My low hanging fruit, my easy objective is 26046, the pre-market buy side liquidity, these equal highs. That's my low hanging fruit objective. But if at any point I need to close the trade, that's why I don't want to set a TP. You know, what if price starts speeding up above this gap and goes spikes through? Okay, I could probably get a little bit more, move my stop to here. Like, I don't know where my TP is. I don't know how much I'm going to make on this trade. It depends on what the market gives me in the feedback. You know, so my best case scenario is 26,123. That's best case scenario. 26,123. Call it 26,120 for simplicity's sake. You know, give it a couple points. 26,120. By the way, if we get into this blue box, I'm moving my stop. Actually, is there even a point? Hold on, let me do some math. The only time I'd really want to move my stop here is if I can secure winning day on top step. So if I'm doing my math correctly, 125 divided by 2 is I'm gonna put the stop to 5.6 here. First presentation, tap. Speed to 50% is what you would want to see in this price signature. Video about pyramiding. I do. It's on YouTube. It's called something like money management that works or something like that. Some weird stuff, something weird kind of cringe. Yeah. 62.5. Okay, and then divide that by 2. So that's 32 points. So if I can somehow secure 32 points on a logical stop loss placement, which I definitely cannot do, that's where I'd have to put my stop to guarantee a winning day on top step. So that's probably not going to happen. That's going to be like when we're up here, I'll move my stop to the bottom of first presentation. That's what I'll do. 2. Yeah, so if we get above first presentation, I'll move my stop to the bottom of first presentation. That'll secure me winning day on top step at the very least. As of right now, again, we'll just see what this does. The 956. Yeah, I like 956. To be honest, I like here too. 968. Once we get CE, I'm going 968. I think we'll get CE here. I'm gonna go 968 anyways. Okay, guaranteed half hour on the day. I mean, that's good. From down 1.5 to guaranteed half with potential for a lot more and a logical stop. I'd say that's pretty good management. See if we can get 50% of the gap here. That would be a good sign. Six nine. Good luck. Yeah, YM struggling? I mean, it was the weakest one out of them all. Yeah, YM is struggling. You are right in that sense. It was the weakest of them all. I want to see ES make a higher high here. In which case, 1147 should be safe. If ES makes higher high, 1149 should be safe. We can probably get away with like a couple points more, but we'll just leave it. At this point in time, yeah, like what I like my stop because if we're gonna do this, boom. Do I want to be in that trade? It could get a deeper retracement at that point. Give up a lot of profits. Not worth it. DE first presentation. I can guarantee winning day now. All right, on Top Step, we're moving stop to 80. 9580. This guarantees me at least the Top Step winning day. To be honest, I think I already have 5 though, actually. Does it even matter? I may already have 5. I don't even know. But the stop's here at 980. Also, this fair value gap should hold, and that low on ES should hold as well. So I actually like it at 980. It makes sense. So we'll just do the same thing here. Again, I'm just seeing how much this trade is gonna give me. If it remains bullish and easy and yeah, 706. I like 70. I like 707.5 on ES. Again, that's why I don't set TP. It doesn't make sense to set TP. If we invert, like, you know what I'm saying? Just trail the stop, see what you get. Yeah, best case scenario is here and here. Maybe I'll partial here, leave a runner. It didn't really give us another pyramid opportunity. I'm just too far to pyramid in at this point as well, right? So let it go. You know, I think I'm going to take the full position off here. We'll ride it. You know, we'll ride it. You know, top 82, 0.25. Make that big of a difference, but you know, it adds up. You don't use TP. Like, I have targets, but I'm not gonna just wait there and for my TP to get hit. Like, I don't think that makes sense. You know, last thing I want to do is just sit there and be like, please hit my TP. Like, you know, you have full control of the trade, right? You can always manually close. How many times your TP get edged by 1 or 2 points? Like, you're gonna lose a whole trade. Like, doesn't make sense to me. I'd rather just trail my stop and give what the market gives. If the this could trend all the way up to December high buy side. So there's no, like, I don't want to set a specific level like here or here. Now, obviously there's best case scenarios. My best case scenario is here. The reason I took this trade is because I think there was a higher probability chance we get here. So I have targets. But let's say hypothetically market goes up and just boom spikes through. Well, why would I close the trade at my TP if we could potentially go higher? The goal is to make the most out of this winning trade. Maybe it's gonna go here and it's gonna just, you know, fall short a little bit and then slow down. Okay, at that point I'll just close the trade. You know, it doesn't have to hit for me to make money. So I just kind of take what the market gives me, and that is something I learned from that guy's name. I think it's the guy who wrote "Best Loser Wins." That guy. I think he said that. He was like, I don't believe in risk to reward. Like, I don't believe in risk to reward. He's like, how do I know what my risk or my reward is going to be on a trade before I go in? Obviously, you know your max risk, but your reward is depending on what the market gives you. You don't know. Yeah, Tom Hugard, that guy. You don't know what your risk. You don't know what your reward is going to be. How do you know? It depends what the market gives you. Sometimes you have to close early. Sometimes you pyramid. Sometimes you know, you partial, and then it's like you can't measure your risk to reward like that. How do you measure your risk to reward? Well, you got to put all the stats in and see on average. But like, you can't just be like, oh, I'm looking for a 2R. It doesn't really make sense, I feel like. And I kind of agree with him with that. Yeah, I'll definitely, I mean, whether partial or full close, I'm going to be ready to, I'm going to have my finger right here on the trigger once price starts approaching this price level. Because I know it can immediately wick and go. If I see speed lower, I want out. If it spikes above, I don't want that. With consistency rules, you need to fix our. You really don't, man. I promise you, you don't. Even if, like, you really don't. As long as your trades are anywhere between like 1 and 5, you'll be fine. Okay, worst case scenario, you catch a banger 10R trade. Okay, just make more money then. You know, did you really hit like a one hit wonder? Because if you can catch 5R or more, you can probably do it again. You know, it doesn't have to be the same every time. If you make $10,000, you need a $4,000 max. You make $4,000 in one trade, surely you can make 10,000 total, right? If you made 4,000 in one trade, one singular trade, but you can't make 10,000 total, then you obviously got lucky on the 4,000, you know? So, yes, consistency rule matters. I want this to be a breakaway at 994, moving stop. You get what I'm saying? It does mess with the good entry. Yeah, pyramiding does mess with the good entry. So you have to make sure. Oh yeah, we're gonna have to postpone bootcamp call. Still holding this trade. Bootcamp call, 12:30 p.m. ET. Important study for today. Sorry about that. Thank you for telling me. So stop move to this gap right here, the high of it. I'm gonna probably move it here to 997 now. Again, there's still logic behind this, right? This is a fair value gap. I would not want to see that trade to the bottom of it. That's a signature that in my inverse. Still logic behind, you know. And worst case scenario, it comes back. I give some profits. Okay, I give back $50. Wait, that's $100. I'm seeing $100 extra bucks on this trade. That's kind of crazy. I didn't realize. Oh, we're up pretty good right now. I'd like to stop at 0610. I think it'll take us out there. See if this can just continue trending. GatieTrade. It wasn't. Yeah, this was look decent. It wasn't as crazy as it looks. I mean, what would have been really crazy is if someone bought here, left the stop, and that would have been a crazy trade. But this gets you out, man. This is why you have to manage risk. Shit like this happens all the time. You can't just assume you're gonna enter and it's never gonna come against you and then go. How do you know? You know? That's why you have to manage it based on what you see. Here, I saw sloppiness. I saw ES go down. I just take what I get. You know? Here, I saw nothing bad. I just trailed my stop. More and more and more and more. You know? And I'm going to trail it shortly here to 910. Do that right now. We'll start with 905. This is an aggressive trail, but I'm looking to start closing the position. So it's aggressive. There's still logic. The opening price here of these three candles. I don't want to see us trade there. So, for reference sake, I don't want to see us trade here because that could potentially be a short-term CISD, which means we get a deeper retracement, maybe the 5-minute, and I'd get stopped out anyways. So the body open here of these three candles, I want us to see us respect this most recent little move of three candles. So this little box. So again, I'm still using logic behind. You know, I'm not just randomly putting it at the next candle low. No, like that doesn't make sense. So we get above it. I can maybe move a little bit more here. Just squeezing out what I get. Like right now, I'm only risking $50 worth of profit. You know, well, if I just took a partial here, instead, I would be, you know. So yes, class today at 12:30. A little bit late. I gotta finish this trade. It should be done within the next 30 minutes. Maybe we're done here. Bought the bottom, let's stop at break even. I hope it hits TP for you, but again, it's not worth giving back all those profits, right? Because you think about the trade now, you're risking, and looks like we'll probably get out here for 1.25R. Nice. Great trade. Hold the limits. And again, I'm still bullish. I still think it can get there. It could retrace. It could get choppy. It could get really slow. It could maybe soup and go. Like again, I don't know what's gonna happen. All I know is it's going lower as of right now. So I'm just gonna take what the market gives me. Obviously, it could wick the gap, move higher. If you want a real, truer, safer stop, would be the bottom of first presentation. So like here, I'd say 982 is probably your best choice. But then again, if your stop's at 982, you're risking right 42 points to only make 20. So your trade is half R currently, right? In school? No. I finished school a while ago. So I studied this fair value gap. If price makes a higher high, then you have a very easy stop loss placement. It's right here at 05. I already got stopped out at 010, so that's good. That's definitely my trading for the day. I definitely will not be taking another trade. But overall, I mean, we predicted the day pretty well. You know, we didn't want to look for shorts, assuming we get those objectives. Like I said, the draw wasn't even wrong today. Even in the morning session, I said today, I said I would take longs, and it could come lower and soup here. It could come lower and soup here. It could come lower and reverse from here, right? It took me multiple attempts. One trade, two trades, three trades. This one was a partial win. And then trade number 4 with pyramid and partial was good. So it took me 4 attempts, but I never would have been down more than 2 risk to reward. That was the maximum I would have been down today, right? The maximum. And we ended up being up. We went from down 1.5 R to being up 1.5 R ish. So that's what risk management does. So even if today was awful, I lost all trades. I was completely wrong. All trades went straight to stop loss, no partials, nothing went my way. Nothing. If everything didn't go my way today, okay, I would have been down 2R. How often does literally nothing go your way? If I really took 3 good trades with my checklist and all of them were just full size losses, no stop loss reduction, straight to SL, completely wrong targets, everything just wrong, which happens, I'd only be down 2R. And you know what 2R is for me? 2R is 2R. I don't know. $400. So I don't know how much percent that is, but worst case scenario, everything goes against me, everything goes wrong. I'm only down 2R. Is that a big deal? No. Just one trading day, 2R. And everything went wrong. If one thing goes right, it's less than 2R. It's even easier. So hopefully that is an important lesson for you guys on risk management, why it's so important. I'll make some annotations here. You guys remember why we took the trade. So, and another thing I want to pay attention to is every time I did lose today, did I flip bias? I said maybe it can go lower. I know I did say that, but really what I did was every time I lost, I said, okay, if I lose this, I already knew what was going to happen. I even said if I lose this long here at 1036, it's going to come down, put SMT, and if it breaks, I'll take it again. It's going to be even a better trade this time with the macro. So I already knew my next step if I was wrong. And then I said, if I lose this one, I'm walking away minus 2R, and it is what it is. So the reason it was easy for me is because everything was planned. I'd expect this to deliver. I'd move my stop to 001. If you haven't moved your stop, you would not want to see below 001. If we get below 001, it can get really choppy or a deeper retracement, in my opinion. Could be wrong, but that's my opinion. Regardless, these are my executions for the day. I will see. Draw this one here. Aggressive entry there. And this trade, honestly, I could have cut it in half as well. Remember, I said that if it comes up, and it did wick, but I was like, I'll just hold it. So this one could have been managed better too. So those are my executions for today. I appreciate you guys coming through the live stream. If you're in boot camp, 12:30 is the call. The buy side is the obvious target there. I still think it's going to deliver. Whether it offers deep retracement, a lot of consolidation, or goes straight up is hard to say, but that's the objective. And then best case scenario for me, target was December high. You know, so I'll look rest of day, these highs, and I'd still be bullish. December, like I'm still bullish higher time frame. So if today wants to be the day we get that objective, it could be today. You know, I think it's possible. We've had a nice buy program, so if it wants to go a little bit higher. Anyways, I will see you guys in the Discord. Take care, stay safe. Make sure you journal your trades. Whether you had a good day, bad day, does not matter. You manage your trades. And till tomorrow, peace.